Hey guys, welcome to Chloe's Masterpieces. My name is Chloe and I love to crochet. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to crochet this giant jellyfish. Let's get started. For the materials, you are going to need white, bulky size 6 yarn. Then the yarn for the tentacles, that can be whatever color you would like. I used this blue and some gray yarn, so that is obviously optional. The eyes, I did blue safety eyes, 30 millimeters, because I have blue tentacles. And then you're gonna need a tapestry needle. Stitch marker is optional, but it's very helpful. I'm using a pair of scissors, a 9 millimeter or in hook, and then you're gonna need a lot of stuffing. So that's it, let's get started. Okay, to start off, we are going to make a magic ring. So I'm going to go on this hand, yarn over twice, and then put that there, and then hook through, over. And we're going to put 6 single crochets into this magic ring. Crochet this giant jellyfish. Let's get started. Okay, and now we're going to pull this tight. If it'll work with me first. Struggling a little bit. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to put our stitch marker in for you who need it. You're just going to put it in just like that, and then we're going to put an increase in every single stitch. And then when we get to that last stitch, you're going to take that stitch marker off and put in your last increase. And you should have 12 stitches at the end of this row. Then you're going to take the stitch marker and put it back in that last stitch. And we're going to do 1 single crochet and then an increase. So 1 single crochet into the first loop, and then an increase in the second one. And then as we're putting our last stitch in, we're going to take off that stitch marker and then put the increase. And there we go, you should have 18 stitches at the end of this row. We're going to put stitch marker in the last stitch, and we're going to single crochet twice and then do an increase. Okay, and then for our next row, I gotta put the stitch marker in first. We're going to single crochet 4 and then add an increase. Okay, for the next row, you're going to single crochet 5 and then add an increase. Okay, once you're finished with that row, we're going to just put 1 single crochet in every single stitch all the way around. We're going to do that for 4 rows. So here's what it looks like after the 4 rows. I was planning to put the eyes on like in between these 2 rows, but then I realized that if I wanted to add a couple more rows because it's not quite as long as I want it. So I think the eyes are actually going to end up going here. So I need to add a couple more rows. So we're gonna add 3 more rows and see what that looks like. Okay, so after I added the 3 rows, it looks like this. And basically I'm going to just go back 4 stitches because that's where I think it looks the best. So I put eye here, and then the other eye is gonna go here, and it is 9 stitches in between, I think. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, 9 stitches in between. That's what it looks like, and I'm pretty sure that's where I'm gonna keep the eyes, because I think it looks the best right here, but I'm not gonna put them all the way in because I'm a little scared to get them permanently stuck in there. But I am going to start on the ruffles. Okay, so we chain 3, and that first chain is going to count as our first double crochet. Then only in this first stitch, not the second one, but this first loop, I'm going to put 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And so see, it looks like we have 4 because the chain and then 3 double crochets, and we're just going to put 4 double crochets in the front loops of each of the stitches. So 1, 2, 3. And as you're going around, do not be too worried about like putting 4 in every single stitch, because some of these I've definitely got away with putting just 3 double crochets in it, and it is still crinkling up nicely. So don't stress about it. But so about 3 or 4 in each stitch, and it should be good. Okay, so now I got all of the ruffles done, and we're at that last stitch. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch down into that first stitch. 2, slip stitch. Oh, so it's kind of funky. There we go. And there we go. So now it's got a ruffle all the way around the whole jellyfish, and the eyes are falling off because they're not all the way on. And I think that's probably going to be the final look for the eyes. So I'll probably put them on, actually click them on in a second. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and do that. So eyes, they're 9 stitches apart, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put their backs in so that they'll be in for real. Okay, so I'm trying to show this like the best I can, but it's actually really hard to see because like all the white is blending together. But basically in that, you know how we crocheted in that first stitch, so now we're basically going into the second stitch, and we are going to single crochet 5 and then do a decrease. So single crochet, I think it's so hard to hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then for that decrease, I'm going to go into a stitch, pull some yarn through, go into the next stitch, pull some yarn through, and then pull through all 3 of those. That's my decrease. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, I made it back around. Here's what it looks like. Okay, let's see. So I'm just going to slip stitch to connect it. And then we can grab our stitch marker and put our marker on the stitch. And we're going to single crochet 4 and then do a decrease. These are so much easier. You just go into both loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a decrease. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, so now we're just going to single crochet 3. This is not clear. It's not clear now. There we go. We're going to single crochet 3 and then do a decrease, and we're just going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, so I made the straight tentacles for the jellyfish in this blue, and I pulled in this silver gray yarn with it, and I made 2 of these. You're just gonna chain, and these ones I chained 45. Then I have gray ones with the gray, and these ones I chained to 40, so they're 40. And then I have this one white one that's chained to 35, and I think I'm gonna make another white one, or I might just leave it as 1. But for now, I'm gonna show you how to make the curly ones. So I'm gonna get my blue yarn and this silver gray that I'm gonna use. Quick untangle. So got my blue yarn, got my gray yarn, and we're just going to go ahead and start. So you're going to make a slip knot. Pretty sure we chain 55 or 60. So I'm going to go ahead and chain to 55 and go with that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And crochet to 60, so 5 more. And 60. So now I've got a whole chain of 60, and I'm going to chain 2. Then I'm going to turn my work. And working. That chain is really loose. I'm gonna retain that. There we go. Skip the first two. In this first one, I'm going to do 2 half double crochets. So 1, 2, and then the next one, 2 half double crochets, and we're just gonna repeat that all the way to the end, and hopefully this one's gonna be long enough. Okay, and I'm just going to make 2 more like this, but I'm going to only chain 30. They're gonna be curly like this, but I'm gonna only chain to 30. And I'll meet you guys when I'm done with that. Okay, so now I'm just going to stuff the body. I'm going to stuff it till it's mostly full. I'm gonna leave like some room, but it's gonna take a lot of stuffing. So I'm just going to do this. Okay, so now I got it stuffed to this point. It's pretty plush. I'm gonna add more stuffing later, but we're going to go ahead and add the legs. So, okay, so we are going to grab one of the straight legs that we made, and I'm going to go into that first stitch and then go into this loop here, and I'm going to tighten it from here and single crochet them just like that. So now it's attached, and then its string, I'm going to put a string here to help sew the string in just so it is strong enough. And we're going to do a decrease going around this one, pulling this through, and then going into our next stitch. I can go on top of it, yarn over, just go under it like that, yarn over, pull it through, and then that's our decrease, just like that. And now this leg is attached. Now we're going to single crochet 1 and then add a decrease, and then on this single crochet we're going to add in the next one. I'm going to add in a blue one. Let's see, get it straight first. There we go. Grab that blue, tighten it from here a little bit, and then yarn over, pull through, and that's our single crochet. And then for our decrease, going through, yarning over, do that again, and that's our decrease. There we go. Then we're going to yarn over, do decrease, and then in this single crochet, I'm going to do another gray one, I think, yeah. And this doesn't really matter how you put in the colors. If you want them more organized, you can do it in a more organized way. But for now, I'm just winging it. Decrease. Okay, I'm going to add another. I'm gonna add the next blue one after this one. This will decrease, so single crochet, decrease, and then the single crochet, pull in the blue one, I'll be back. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We've got the 4 long straight tentacles, and this little circle should be 18 stitches. And now we're gonna go in and do the next ones. So take the stitch marker out. Now, let's see, for the curly ones, I made 4 of them, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. And then I have one more straight one that I'll be putting in at the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the shorter curly ones that I made, and we're gonna go ahead and put those in. So this one I'm going to put my crochet hook in, then go through the last chain on this one, and then I'm going to pull that through. Then I'm going to go through just another part on this one. I'm just, not that part, sticking it into that last stitch over here, and then I'll be sticking it to my next stitch, and I'm going to pull yarn over, pull through, and then pull through all of those stitches, and that's actually a decrease, and this one's attached. So I'm gonna, and then I'm gonna repeat that. So stick it through, grab this one, and I'm going to put it through, just like that. I'm gonna tighten that. There we go. And then I'm going to the next stitch. The yarn over here because this one's actually really tight. I think I skipped the stitch. Yeah, but now that one's connected. Okay. Then I'm going to single crochet into the next one. Going to tuck all the extra yarn. Goes in. There we go. Now for our next one, I'm going to, okay. Now I'm grab my other short one. And okay, so once you get to this point, I'm going to finish stuffing it. So I'm just going to grab my stuffing and continue stuffing it until it's as stuffed as I want it to be. And I want it to be a little firm, but not too firm, so like soft enough. So I'm gonna put a bunch of stuffing in here. Okay, so now I'm just going to add the last straight leg and the last coily one. I'm just going to do a decrease, and then on that last stitch for the decrease, I'm going to add this one in, and then just pull through all of them. And now that one's attached. And then, some more string. I'm just going to tuck its excess string in. There we go. And then I'm going to do another decrease. I feel like I need to do it over here. See how there's like not a lot, but over here I feel like it's kind of crowded. So do another decrease. chain, but do a single crochet, and then decrease, and then sorry for them, they're playing with the blocks and it's so loud. I don't know why they're making as much noise as they possibly can. Okay, anyways, like I was saying, I don't even remember what I was saying. We're gonna do a single crochet, and this is where I'm gonna put in my last biggest leg. So just how we've been connecting them, putting that into that first stitch, going into the chain, the last one, going to just do a normal single crochet, and then I'm going to go into the last stitch of this one, going into another stitch, and just single crocheting that off. Okay, here we go. These strings, I'm just going to tuck them in by doing a slip stitch. Wraps around them, just like that. All the way. I'm gonna tuck these in. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my tapestry needle and just close up this hole. So, gonna also cut my string shorter. Okay, so now I'm just going to use my tapestry needle to sew this closed. So I'm just gonna go in and out of the stitches, just like this. And then I'm going to pull it, and it's closed. Then I'm just going to finish it off with a knot like this. And pull it nice and taut, and then just pull that. Once you finish that knot, just sewing the tail, I'm just gonna pull it through the body of the jellyfish. So just go down through here, and then picking a random spot, pull it up, and then going again, pulling it out a random spot. And that's how I like to sew the tails in, just let they still are there. I'm probably gonna clip that because I have sewn it in a bunch of times. So for the ends of the jellyfish, mainly the straight ones, to end them, I'm just grabbing the 2 strings that I use because I use a sparkly yarn. I'm going to tie them together at the end, so just making a normal knot, and then I'm going to just use my scissors and cut here, and then that will be the ends to all of these, and then you are done. So I'm just going to hurry up and do this, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now I finished all of the tail pieces, and it's kind of look like that, all of the straight ones. And I'm gonna zoom out to get the finished look. Okay, and here is what he looks like. I'm going to get a shot of him completely upright so y'all can see how tall it is. But yes, this is what it looks like. It's so cute, and I'm actually really happy how it turned out, especially the legs. They look really good.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so that you guys know when I post new videos. Bye!